Welcome to another episode of Anyone Can Cook. You know, the one that creates boundaries over than politics and religion is food. It's the common ground of anything general, and those that know good food knows no boundaries. So in the next episode, we are focusing on certain ingredients that have been left and out of date and always seen as a side dish. And we're looking at a round top blade. That's the hardest piece of meat, but if you know how to cook it and stew it in its own juices with the right amount of spice from the spice galleon trade, and you combine that, it explodes in your mouth. So we're gonna look at how food defines us as a culture and how food is the one thing that truly binds and truly nourishes. This is the most exciting part. The Filipino is all about the pork. And this part of the pork, which is the pork round shoulder cut, and if you look at it, it's so beautiful to look at, but it's actually the most chewest part of the pork. And you need to cook it in long, slow cooking, in a cooking of sorts that allows the meat to break apart slowly. And the secret to creating a beautiful piece of meat like this is in the spices. In the galleon trade of the 1800s, we have a healthy and beautiful exchange of cassia, which is cinnamon. You have nutmeg, you have turmeric, galangal. So all these unique flavors are Asian, but usually they're individualized in all our cooking. But in this kind of cooking, which we marinate the meat in these spices, together they're enhanced. So we have maybe 2 kilos of this pork shoulder round cut, and I have ANISEED, and it's got a very intense flavor and almost like a sambuca flavor. That's going to go well with getting the beef and the flavor alkaline. And then you have turmeric powder. And then you have the cassia, which is the cinnamon. It's got also not just cinnamon, it's got what do you call the cinnamon family and star anise and nutmeg. We have nutmeg right here, and then we have cumin powder, and then we have hot paprika and a dry mustard horseradish. So all of this, if you look at it, we have 6-7 spices going at the same time. And what it is the combination of it all. Individually, they're amazing, they're stand out, but if you combine it all, it creates a unique flavor profile, almost like a steak rub. So that's where we want to go. Obviously, this meat is in the lower classification of tenderness and bite or flavor. So we want to perk that up on so many levels. And that's what is going into the meat marination. Of course, your own salt and flavoring. But the secret thing is to get a nice orange or a nice lemoncito or a nice let me see, a nice strong lemon, and take the skin and you finish it as you seal all the spices together. So if you'll bear with me, I'm just gonna do that actually in front of you, and then you'll see how the rub is made. So again, I'm gonna put 1 tablespoon of the aniseed. I have here turmeric powder, 1 tablespoon, and it's really just like a play. like how you do it in school, and you have the cassia, and you have the star anise, and you have the cumin powder, then you have that's chili, and you have the hot paprika, smoked paprika, and then you have the dry mustard. So that's just gonna go in there. Look at that, I'm just making a mess in front of you, but this is really where the base is, and it all gathers and everything just goes straight into the oven after this. And then you want to take the salt, maybe 3 tablespoons salt, because this is a huge top plate. And the salt that I have, I created, it's like a seasoning salt, and it actually has some flower petals. So that's just my imagination going on another level. So while you're at this, I'm gonna leave that, and I'm gonna let that massage into each other. And we're gonna talk about the one other ingredient that no one ever talks about, because it's always used as a side ingredient, which is liver. Chicken liver, chicken gizzards, it's always used as maybe a side note. It's never a main highlight of a dish, because it's never really bloomed in our culture as much as a European culture to do a pate out of livers. So today we're gonna do a chicken liver pate with mushrooms and thyme, and it's cooked and reduced with beer or some sort of alcohol. That's going to be so unique, and you just blend that together. You know, I can already see you like thinking and imagining how this is all gonna come together on your plate tonight. So as easy as this, just all the main ingredients, especially for the piece of meat, this is gonna go into hiding, or I call it in the cooking gestation of maybe 8 to 10 hours. So you do this in the morning, and you marinate it, and then you let it stay there for maybe 8 hours, and by 5 o'clock your meal is ready, and it is melting, and it's like almost like a fine sinew of this beef. So in front of you, you saw me all just dump that all in, and now we're just gonna use the marination and take that and massage it into your meat. And look at that, guys, it's really just a rub, and that's where we're going with this. We are creating a unique spice rub, and this is actually my secret steak rub. Everyone just thinks it's all about just chili and salt and pepper. No, I'm going with turmeric. I'm going in there with steak, like a different kind of flavor on the steak. I'm going in there with cassia, which is the cinnamon. I'm going in there with hot paprika. So if you look at it, it's just gonna sit, and it's beautifully massaging into all these flavors and spices, and the aniseed and the mustard. So that's gonna just gather so well. So if you look at that, I've created the first lot in front of you. So simple, rub, easy. And after that, it just goes straight into the oven. So come follow me, and we're gonna do together this chicken liver pate, and you're just gonna see this baby so well marinated and well cooked after 6 to 8 hours. So let's say I would suggest you do this at 7, 8 o'clock, and just forget about it. And at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, or it's gonna be so well done and cooked to perfection that, you know, you'll wanna do it again. So come, let's go bring this straight to the oven. Oh, it's the 4th hour, and this is not cooked yet, but what it is we're gonna take it out to rest, because we're going to take it with another level of flavor. And this is where we're at, because the orange being fresh, and we just needed to get all those ingredients to combine. If you look at it, it's on a phase of maybe the cooking situation is reduced at 20% still. We still have to go roughly another 4 hours. So I'm gonna take an orange rind, And the orange is gonna give it a natural flavor and a sweetness and a balance. Mind you, whatever this size is, it hasn't reduced, because in 8 hours, this is gonna shrink. So in the 4th hour, we've already got it to 20 to 25% cooking. So simple, right? You can use calamansi, you can use lemon. It's almost festive. Voila. And then you gotta add a tablespoon of honey, because I have so many flavors in there. And I just make sure I got all the spices on the bottom, on the top, because I just massaged it blindly in the first lot. So the second round, I need to ensure that all the spices go around before it goes into its final time. Oh, this is so therapeutic. Really, like, it's like the massage and you're listening to music. And this is where the time tests everything. And it's in its right time, the flavors and all the symphony of all this spices take this piece of meat to another level. So in we go with another 4 hours in the oven in order for us to finish. And on the final finish, you will see this piece of meat just fall apart, and you can literally eat it like spaghetti. And I'm not kidding. You don't believe me? Test it in your home. And then you sit, you watch TV, you chat, you make memories until the next time we do and pull out that beautiful piece of meat and we gather around the table. I'm Kate Dychangco-Anzani. Thank you for joining us, and we will feast together soon.